Deadline day is hotting up as Bradford City announced their 9th signing of the 2024 summer transfer window. Central defender Cheick Diabate signs on a season-long loan from League One side Exeter City, and you're going to find out my opinions and a bit more information on our latest recruit in today's video. Now, Bradford City tweeted today at midday saying, "Welcome to defender Cheick Diabate, who signs on a season-long loan from Exeter City." The article does then read, "Bradford City AFC is delighted to announce the deadline day signing of Cheick Diabate on loan from Exeter City. The central defender arrives on a season-long loan agreement for the remainder of the 2024-25 campaign. A product of the Exeter Academy, the 22-year-old made his senior debut for the club in November 2020 and has since made a further 75 appearances for the Grecians. He was a part of the side which achieved promotion to Sky Bet League One in 2021-22, making 18 appearances that season and scoring twice. He said, 'It feels amazing to be here. I feel like I'm signing for a good club and I cannot wait to meet the lads and get started. I would describe myself as a no-nonsense defender. I take pride in defending my box, defending long balls, tackling, intercepting and clearances.' I'm very, very impressed with that, because obviously we'll get on to what the squad is currently looking like in a moment. We only really had one no-nonsense defender, because that being Neil Byrne, but then you factor in Callum Johnson, that he's more of a right wing back who's going to play centre back. Aidan Baldwin, much more better on the ball than you would say defensively, certainly a ball player. You got Kieran Kelly, who again, much more of a ball player, although can do the no-nonsense thing if you need him to, but traditionally plays on the left side. And Jack Shepherd, who certainly seems like, again, can do the no-nonsense side, but seems very good on the ball as well. So I don't mind us getting in another no-nonsense defender." He continued to say, "I spoke to the gaffer last week and he told me about where the club is trying to go and where he sees it going. He has a clear path for the club and I want to come here and contribute. He wants to get promoted and I want to be a part of it. I am here to work hard and give my all for this club and contribute positively." Again, I really like what he says there. He's desperate to be at Bradford City. He really wants to be a part of our success this season, and I'm really happy that he is. Yeah, I do think on paper it looks like a very positive signing. City manager Graham Alexander said, "We are very happy to bring Cheick in to give us genuine strength and competition for our back three." I would probably say that's not a dig at some of our other centre-halves that we've had, but the fact we let Sam Stubbs go out on loan last week to fellow League Two side Cheltenham, we've brought Cheick Diabate in. I would say if you compare the two, Cheick Diabate is an upgrade on Sam Stubbs. Obviously, you can factor in the wages and all that sort of stuff, but I do think Cheick Diabate is a really, really good signing. Alexander continues to say, even though he's still a young player, he has experience of playing at League One football and being part of a successful League Two campaign at Exeter. He was really excited about joining us after I spoke to him earlier this week, and we look forward to working with him. Cheick Diabate will be sponsored by Shipley Bantams for the 2024-25 season and will wear the 39 shirt in claret and amber. His signing is subject to the relevant EFL and FA clearances. I can only assume that's his preference of a number. I don't understand why we give a potentially starting centre-half the number 39 shirt when we've got some sub-30 numbers still available, but again, no one really cares about shirt numbers other than me. And obviously, with him signing from another football club, Exeter City tweeted at midday today saying, "Good luck to Cheick Diabate, who has joined Bradford City on a season-long loan with a break clause in January." This is the first time that a recall clause in one of our loan deals has been announced publicly. The article does then read, "Exeter City defender Cheick Diabate has joined Bradford City on a season-long loan with a break clause in January. The defender heads to Valley Parade to link up with Graham Alexander's Bantams for the rest of the 2024-25 League Two campaign. Cheick has made 76 appearances to date for City, scoring at 3 times, so there's clearly a little bit of confusion there. We have it down as 75, they have it down as 76. Speaking on Cheick's loan, manager Gary Caldwell said, "Cheick came to me to ask to go out on loan as he wanted to play games, and we feel that it's a good opportunity for him to join Bradford City. Cheick has joined on a season-long loan with a break clause in January, which will allow him to get more game time and to help him progress and move closer to being an Exeter City regular. I have had conversations with Cheick and he wants to play more regular football. He did brilliantly in spells but has had injuries which have kept him out of the team. We want to develop his career and get him in as a regular Exeter City player, but at the moment competition in that position is very strong. We look forward to seeing how Cheick develops at Bradford." Now, just before we get into my thoughts and Cheick Diabate's time at Exeter City, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. We are aiming for 150 likes on today's video, and don't forget as well to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are now closing in on 10,000 subscribers. Get your thoughts in as well on this signing down in the comment section down below. Do you expect him to start tomorrow against Grimsby? He has signed in time, or do you think he'll just make the bench, or do you even think he will make it onto the bench? Lots of competition and strength in depth, but make sure to like, comment and subscribe. If we have a look then at how Cheick Diabate got on last season with Exeter City, where he did wear the number 39 shirt, so I guess that is like Man City's Phil Foden, where he always wears the 47, for example. But he played 28 times in League One last season, starting 19 of their matches, averaging 66 minutes per game, and he did not feature in the team of the week on any occasions. No goal contributions, but his passing stats do look quite good, in all honesty. He averaged 47.2 touches per 90 with an 81% passing accuracy, 90% in his own half, but only 53% in the opposition half, but there was a lot less passes in the opposition half. 34% of his long balls were accurate and 36% of his chip passes were accurate as well. Again, we're much more of a direct side, playing out from defence. Neil Byrne likes to do them diagonal, so I presume if Diabate is going to play in the middle, he will need to be able to do that as well. In terms of his defensive stats, I won't say they're particularly amazing. He kept 4 clean sheets in them 19 starts that he did make last season, averaging only 0.5 interceptions per game, 0.6 tackles per game, 3.1 balls recovered per game, and 5 clearances per game as well. I certainly like the clearances stats, but in terms of tackles and interceptions, they're not particularly amazing. In terms of some of his duels, he won 58% of them in total, averaging 0.8 on the ground, winning 52% of them, and 2.4 in the air, winning 60% of them. Again, for a centre-half, they're not amazing statistics. He did also pick up 4 yellow cards last season, but like I say, he was in and out of the team constantly due to the amount of injuries that he has picked up, and I do hope he can stay injury-free throughout his time with Bradford City. Exeter fans, let me know down below what type of injuries were there. Were they muscular or were they contacts? I think that is certainly something that we do need to consider. For a centre-half, he's not the tallest. SofaScore has him down as 186 centimetres, which is about 6'1", something like that. So for a central centre-back, you like them to be at least an inch or two minimum taller than that. But again, if he's good in the air, I don't think it really does matter all too much. On paper though, I do like this signing, a player who comes in with a lot of pedigree and experience from this division, but in particular the league above as well. And Exeter are no mugs, they know what they're doing with their younger players, and at 22 years of age, I don't know how long he's left on his contract with Exeter, to be fair, but if it's up at the end of this season, who knows, we might be able to get him in on a permanent basis. But I feel like if they're going to send him out on loan for a young player and he hasn't signed a new contract, I feel like he's going to have at least 2 years left on his current deal. And finally then, before we end today's video, let's have a look at how Bradford City's squad is now lining up for the 2024-25 campaign. As I said, today is deadline day. We still expect a lot of business still to be done, a lot more outgoings still to happen, but as you can see, our defensive positions, especially in the centre-back place, look really, really strong in competition for places. I think at the start of the season, everyone would have been expecting Callum Johnson to start. He's been injured, and Aidan Baldwin has massively stood out. Neil Byrne has been very hit and miss so far, so Diabate will come in and provide some real competition for him in the middle, as obviously we know Sam Stubbs has gone out on loan. Obviously on the left side, both Kelly and Shepherd look on paper like good players, especially Jack Shepherd. I've been impressed with his signing so far. We are now at 4 loan additions who are currently in the squad. Obviously you can only have 5 in a matchday squad, so who knows what transfer business is still to be done. We still do expect some departures, especially in the striker and central midfield positions. I still think we need a wing back to come in, preferably a left wing back. We still absolutely need a holding midfielder. We need some competition for Richie Smallwood, but I don't know if we're at that point now where we need to wait for players to go out before going in. I think as of around 11 o'clock, Simon Parker told us that there was no movement on the outgoings front, so fingers crossed that that does speed up. Obviously it does, the transfer deadline day is today at 11 PM, but I think if you get some sort of brief paperwork in before then, you get an extension up until midnight, so it'll be interesting to see how much more business that we do go on to do. Jake Young's now been interested and rumoured to be interested with Championship side Derby County, so it'll be interesting to see where he does end up. He probably will still end up at Bradford City way after all the rumblings and murmurings that have gone on, and apparently with this being a deal agreed with so many different clubs, so many teams have been interested in him, it will be so Bradford City for him to be just a Bradford City player. My overall thoughts then on this signing, I think it's a good signing for me personally. It's only on a loan, which is a little bit disappointing. I would like to see another permanent centre-back come in there. We've only got 3 natural permanent centre-back, so if we're thinking for the long term, it's not the most ideal. Apparently, we were interested in Everton's Reece Welsh, I think his name was, or Welch, something like that, but we've decided to go with Cheick Diabate instead, and I'm really excited by this, and I do think he's going to be a good player for us, and just fingers crossed he has an injury-free stay with his life at Bradford City. I don't expect him to start tomorrow. He might make the bench, but he'll probably play in a Tuesday's game against Newcastle's under-21, so we can see what he is all about. But I think this is a really good signing, and fingers crossed he has a successful spell with us.